Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored.
Ding dong, jingle bells.
Ding dong, jingle bells.
I was trying to think of a good way to start this mini holiday episode. So Christian's out, definitely laughing at me, and that's
Like a
okay.
doorbell, jingle bells. Ding dong, jingle bells.
Yeah, it's like, hey, carolers are here. So we are here back at you again with another miniature episode of the Married and Bored podcast.
Yes, Christmas style.
We are talking about some games you can buy for those in your life that you love, maybe yourself even in there. And I hope you love yourself.
There you go.
And yeah, it's been fun. This is our fifth one.
This is our fifth one. We've been just rocking it this Christmas season around the Christmas tree. And we've got another great game to talk about today for you all. This one is Wavelength.
Ooh, it sounds sci-fi.
It is. This was all the rage maybe 2 years ago when it came out, and like everyone in the board game world was posting about it, talking about it. It's a recent acquisition for us, and so we thought, let's talk about it. Let's just jump in and recommend this one for Christmas for our listeners. Angela, as always, what is this game?
Okay, so it is a fun party game that's about 30 to 40 minutes long. It's for 2 to 12 or more people. So.
Yeah, it says 12 on the box, I think, but like it could be not infinite. You could play with pretty large parties.
Oh, yeah.
If you set up some special rules. But.
Yeah. So, and once we describe it, you might get that. So it's a social guessing game. So you're going to have two teams competing to read each other's minds. Teams are going to rotate a dial to where they think a hidden bullseye is located on a spectrum. It's like a hemisphere.
Yeah.
180 degrees.
Half circle.
Yep. And one of the players on your team knows exactly where the bullseye is and is going to try to get you to guess where it is based on conceptually describing between two binaries. So let's give an example.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that mean? Two binaries, ones and zeros?
It's like opposites.
Yeah, so the example that we want to say, and I think it's the example on the box too. So you'll draw a card, and the card says hot on one side of the card, on the same side, so it's divided in half. It'll say hot and cold on the right and left sides. And so you spin your dial, and then you find out that the bullseye is slightly off center on the cold side. Okay. But only you know this.
Not your team.
And so now I, being the clue giver, have to give a clue to my team that is so that they can adjust the dial and the needle to where the bullseye is.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking, all right, so what's the coldest thing in the world? And you're like,
Ice.
well, my ex-wife's heart.
Oh, wow. You could say that.
So you say ice or Antarctica. And so that might be on the far end of the cold spectrum.
Right.
But you just want slightly left.
Yeah.
And so the example they say is like salad.
Yeah. Like maybe
it's
like salad's not the coldest thing I can think of, but it's not hot. So,
yeah. Like tap water.
Yeah. Maybe tap water.
It just depends. And so like you have to try to make sure that your guess is as accurate as possible to how you know. Now where it gets fun is like my scale of cold to hot is way different than the group's.
Sure.
And so like trying to like play that mind game is very fun.
Yes. And even amongst the people on the team that are guessing, like there's like, no, I think it's here.
It's
no,
like
I think it's more.
Well, it's coffee
way.
because I only drink iced coffee.
Yeah.
It's like no, like the majority of people drink hot coffee. But you could see where that could go.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of like arguing,
discussing.
Trying to figure out where it could be.
And laughs. I think that's what we love about it is that it's fun. It's like a very involved, I don't know, like exciting party game.
Yeah, we don't play a lot of party games.
No, we don't. We don't have a lot of parties.
No,
Maybe
but
that's
I'm just
why.
saying, like We played I think everybody played their fair share of,
Outbursts categories.
no, what's Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yes.
Everyone did that for a while, and that was fun. But then like they just kind of like they get boring after a while,
Right.
And I'm sure Wavelength can too, as all games can. But like there's a lot going on because it's just subjective.
It's something fresh.
Yeah, it's everyone's scale is different, and your answers you say and your clues you say are going to be different.
Yes.
So thinking of clues is very fun to me. I
Yeah.
like doing that. When we play in a small group with just our family, I have to think of like, let's just say it's like cool, nerdy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, I'm playing with my kids and my wife. So like
You kind of cater to your
yeah,
audience.
is computers cool?
Yeah.
Or is it nerd? Like, I have to think about what they're thinking of.
Yeah.
As the group gets bigger, that's much more hard to do.
Yeah.
So it's a fun dynamic too. What's another thing that we like about it?
It's kid friendly. I like that you can involve the family. And it's nice because you don't actually have to take anything out of the box.
Oh, the packaging is so cool.
Yeah. Everything, like the scoring is inside the box.
Yeah, it displays this dial. Like you just prop it up in the box, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The cards are in the
How cool
like,
is that?
Everything is just in the box and you just pass the box around. Or I guess alternatively, you could take turns coming up to where the box is.
Yeah, I
but-
think that's how you would, in my mind, you should do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Passing the box can get a little clunky, and it's like, well, I spilled it all.
especially if there's alcohol involved.
And another thing too, it's not just kid friendly, but if you want to take it up to another level, there is
Yeah.
advanced cards, and I'll give you one example of an advanced card that is it's just so crazy to me that like trying to think of an answer for this. So on one end of the card you have dictatorship, and the other one you have democracy.
Yeah.
And you spin that wheel, and wherever your bullseye lands, you're just like, oh man.
So if the bullseye is far left, you're like Stalin.
Yeah, it's like Fidel Castro, and
Yeah.
then on democracy, you're just like George Washington, or
Yeah.
or like what if it's in the mid? Like what is in the middle of that? You're just like,
I don't know.
Sweden. I don't know. So that there's some cool, thinky, advanced cards that you can use if you're playing with a group of adults.
Yes.
And I think those kind of cards, kind of help you get to know people better. Like,
Yeah.
because you're just like, wait, you thought that
Coffee was cold.
coffee was cold? Like, no, like, who are you?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of funness as well.
Yes. We recently did one where it was like, you think bath water is really that hot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
like-
the kids, like that was mine. It was hot and cold,
Yeah.
like our example, but mine was slightly on the hot side.
Yeah, just slightly.
So I was thinking like, okay, so we have boiling water. That's probably towards the other end.
Yeah.
But then there's also like the sun,
Yeah.
which is like I would probably put that at the bottom, like
Yeah.
as hot as you can get.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bath. I said take a bath.
Yeah. Bath water.
And they turn that needle so far.
So far towards the hot, and we're just like, what? We don't give you boiling water baths. Yeah.
Nor do we give them cold baths. So-
No, it's so funny. So that's the fun part about it. You're just like learning about each other, and it's for anyone that has like a party atmosphere they're going to, or could potentially bring this to a Christmas party or even like a team building.
I think it'd be a fun little team building icebreaker type thing.
Yeah,
it'd
like
be fun.
work.
Yeah,
It would be a fun like work party if it was small enough. Like if you were in a small enough setting or broken into like teams,
departments or something.
Departments.
Yeah,
Dinner parties. I like that it's subjective and like we said, you're learning about each other. So it's not like there's a lot of strategy. You can think really hard, but it's not like Cat in the Box, which we discussed last episode, in the same type of thinking way.
no, and then like if the goal is to get points by getting the bullseye as close as you can to your needle mark, but I mean at the end of the day, it's like you don't need to keep score. It's just fun to try to guess
Totally.
and like try to get on that same quote wavelength
Yes.
as the other people playing the game.
And you can play it cooperatively. So if you're thinking like us that you're usually in like a smaller unit of 4, you can play it cooperatively or competitively.
Definitely.
Okay. Where can you find it?
Well, we were lucky enough to find this one at Target.
Yes, we were.
I think we got it like pretty recently. Black Friday special.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think it was like $15-$20.
I don't know if it was 15, but it was somewhere in the 25 to 40 range, I think.
Yeah, it was cheap enough where we pulled the trigger and we're like, yes,
Yeah.
let's do it. Because it has been been out for so long, luckily you can find it at a big box store like Target.
Or Barnes & Noble.
At Barnes & Noble, I'm fairly certain has it. You can find it on Amazon.
Our local game store
has it. So this is one where we have no problem saying, like, if you want it this holiday season, you will find it.
Yes. And who is the publisher here?
So the publisher is CMYK Games, I believe.
Okay.
So it's a game company, and that's all I know about it.
I was going to say I've never heard of it before. But I'm going to say shut up and sit down. So shut up and sit down, right? They did a episode on this video.
They love this game.
Yeah. And so if you're curious to know more about it before you pull the trigger, there you go. You should look at that video. That's what we looked at.
Yeah, when they love a game, you can definitely tell and feel that in their videos.
Yes.
And they said sometimes we wouldn't even keep score and we would just do card after card just to get to know more about the people giving clues.
Yeah.
And I think that's so, you don't get to do that in a game a lot.
Right.
And so that really is interesting.
Love it. So, what are you going to throw at me for a holiday question?
Kitchen sink. Here we go, Angela. We're going to end the show with a question. And the question is, should eggnog be a year-round drink and available to purchase year-round?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for listening to this.
I would only drink eggnog. Now, for me, it's oat nog. Yes,
Same
I know.
thing. We'll play it.
Dairy free. But I would only drink it during a certain season, the winter season.
Do you think it's because it's only been available during that time?
Well, I wouldn't put like a hard end, like, oh, it's the 26th of December and I can't drink eggnog anymore.
Yeah, it's like wearing white past Labor Day. Like,
But
you're not allowed to do it.
But I wouldn't be drinking it into March, April.
How would you feel about a nice summer nog
No. No
in
thanks.
Arizona?
No thanks.
Okay, so like that wasn't really I guess along the same lines. Do you have like a favorite Christmas drink? I know a lot of people drink eggnog. They do like the brandy in it.
Yeah.
We're coffee people, so do you have
Yeah.
like a favorite way to prepare your coffee during the holidays?
Well, I really like peppermint, which I think I've mentioned on one of our standard episodes before.
Probably.
So I would do like a peppermint mocha. That kind of gets me in the, you know, with the whipped cream and candy canes sprinkled on top. Something like that.
That's your jam?
What about you?
I think I think eggnog should be available all year round. I think that'd be fine with me.
Got it.
And I do like an eggnog latte.
Yeah, you do.
We used to work, you and I, at Caribou Coffee back in Minnesota,
Yes,
and they
we
would
did.
do a really good one.
Yeah.
I haven't had one this year, and you can really only have like 2 a season because after you drink one, you're just like, oh man, that was a lot. I don't know if I should have drinking all that.
We're really making it sound good.
But it's so good.
It is so good.
I do enjoy those. So like usually I don't like a lot in my coffee. So like peppermint's not my thing. I don't like gingerbread.
Right.
So just give me an eggnog latte every once in a while and I'll be happy.
You'll be happy.
Yep.
There we go. So, Wavelength, eggnog, whatever gets your party going. That's what we're recommending this season.
And we thank you for joining us on this Married and Bored holiday journey.
I think this one wraps up the first week.
Yep, and we'll probably come back next week with a few more.
Oh,